What's going on YouTube? In that last video we did, we taught you guys how to do a bark. If you haven't watched that yet, before you watch this video on how to chuckle, go back and watch that video. You need to know how to bark to be able to chuckle. And when it comes to chuckling, all you're gonna do is bark through your tube multiple times, but there's more components to it than that. There's a couple extra key things you're gonna throw into there. And so let's just talk about those things. The first thing you wanna do is you're gonna put that reed in your mouth and you're gonna bark, but as soon as you're done barking, you're gonna exaggerate inhale. It's gonna sound like this. Now, when it comes to chuckling, I want you to take your time with this and go back to that first video. If you feel like that reed's gonna go back in your throat and inhale on you, go back to that first video where we talked about fit. That reed needs to stay up on the roof of your mouth. That's what's gonna be your chuckle. It's not too hard to make, but it's one of those things where a lot of people are afraid to do it because they're gonna inhale one of their diaphragms, or they just can't get that bark sound. That bark is what makes your chuckle, in my opinion. So now that you know how to do the bark and then you inhale, when you add it through the tube, it sounds like this. Now without the inhale part, what does it sound like? Sounds like a bark to me. So, but when you inhale and then you repeat it faster and you get that cadence right, that's what's gonna be the actual most important thing when it comes to your chuckle. It's the cadence. The cadence, if your cadence is wrong, it just won't sound natural at all. So, to me, that cadence, it's super quick. It's just a bark, 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 like that. When you're doing that quickly like that, you're gonna be able to get that cadence just right. Slow it down and make sure that you're getting the right sounds before you speed it up. And that's what it sounds like when it's good cadence. It's gonna start off a little bit slower and then it's gonna speed up and then die down again. So it's gonna sound like this. I still need to work on my chuckle. It's still not perfect, but it's one of those sounds, if you can get it to where it sounds better than those other guys that are making those laser beam sounds, it sounds like this. And I'm not sure if I can do this. Which is not horrible, it just doesn't sound as good to me as a, you know, when you're inhaling. That big inhale, it makes your chuckle a lot better. Just practice. Make sure you're practicing a lot. So let's go ahead and talk about when I'm gonna chuckle. So to me, chuckling is when another bull talks to another bull and he's letting that bull know it's talking straightly to him. And like I said before in the past, I'm no expert in the language. I just go with what I feel in my gut. And I highly suggest you do the same thing too. Watch a bunch of different other YouTube videos. Watch some Chris Rowe, watch some Joel Turner, watch some Elk 101, watch the Born and Raised guys. Go through and just find a bunch of different elk calling stuff and watch it. And take all that info and make your own, you know, your own choice on what you think these sounds are. You don't have to even chuckle. I don't think it's super important to kill elk, but it's one of those things where it just helps you throw that little bit of realism in there. You can make yourself sound more realistic. Why not do that, right? So now you know how to chuckle. And you might be asking yourself, well, I've watched all these videos and there's one bugle that everybody talks about that I never heard them talk about, and that was a challenge bugle. Well, in my opinion, I don't really think there is a challenge bugle. I think the lip ball is a particular type of challenge bugle. used in the right format. And sometimes I think with that lip ball, you most of the time are going to be talking to those ladies unless you throw a chuckle in at the end of it. So it'd sound like this. And that to me is that you're lip balling, which if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch it. But you're letting that bull know, hey, I'm the dominant one and you're it. You know, let's go, let's fight. So when you throw that chuckle on the end of a bugle, I think that's when you're letting that other bull know that you're talking specifically to him. So that's just my opinion, and I think that's just how it works. So you can decide on your own and get out there and make some calls and practice and get better. That's what we're here for.